Jake leases a car. Marcus buys the same car. They both think they made the smarter choice. They both walk out of the dealership feeling like they just beat the system. But there's one problem. Neither of them actually ran the numbers. Let's keep this fair. Jake and Marcus both earn about $55,000 a year. Same salary, same financial pressure, same goals. They both want the same car, a $30,000 sedan. Same model, same trim, same color. They walk into the same dealership on the same afternoon. The only difference is what they sign. Jake signs a 36-month lease. $2,000 due at signing, $299 a month. The salesperson smiles and tells him he made a great choice. Low monthly payment, brand new car, full warranty. In 3 years, he can just hand the keys back and move on. Simple, clean, no headaches. Marcus signs something very different. A 60-month auto loan at 6% interest, $3,000 down, $522 a month. That's $200 to $23 more every single month than Jake. Marcus feels that difference immediately. The moment he sees the payment amount, it stings a little. Jake, on the other hand, feels lighter. His monthly cost is smaller. His budget breathes easier. When they both drive off the lot, Jake feels like he just made the smarter move. For the first few months, everything seems to confirm that feeling. Jake is driving a brand new car with that new car smell. Full manufacturer warranty. If something breaks, it's covered. No surprise repair bills, no anxiety about maintenance. Every month, he pays his $299 and moves on with his life. Marcus's experience feels very different. The moment he drives his car off the lot, something invisible happens. His $30,000 car is suddenly worth less, around $27,000. By the end of the first year, maybe $23,000. By year 2, closer to $20,000. Meanwhile, his loan balance still feels heavy. For the first couple of years, Marcus owes more than the car is worth. Financially, that position has a name. Emotionally, it has a feeling, like pouring money into something that keeps shrinking. And from the outside, it looks obvious. Jake seems like the winner. Marcus seems like the one carrying the burden. For the first 3 years, life feels smooth for Jake. Every month, the payment comes and goes without much thought. $299, predictable, manageable, easy to live with. He enjoys the comfort of driving a newer car than most of his friends. When something small goes wrong, he doesn't panic. It's covered. That warranty becomes a quiet form of psychological relief, the kind you don't notice until you imagine losing it. Marcus, meanwhile, lives through a very different reality. $522 leaves his account every month. It's noticeable, sometimes uncomfortable. He watches his car lose value on paper while his loan balance still looks stubbornly high. In the first 2 years especially, it feels like he's paying a lot but getting very little back. The numbers don't feel friendly yet. And this is the stage where most people form their first judgment. At the end of year 3, the scoreboard looks clear, at least on the surface. Jake has paid $2,000 up front plus 36 monthly payments of $299. In total, that comes out to $12,764. Marcus has paid $3,000 down plus 36 monthly payments of $522. That adds up to $21,792. Jake has spent over $9,000 less than Marcus. If you stopped the story right here, the conclusion would feel obvious. Jake looks smarter. His monthly payments were smaller, his total cash spent was lower. His experience felt lighter. But year 3 is where the story quietly changes direction. Jake's lease reaches its end. And suddenly, he's standing at a crossroads with 3 choices in front of him. He can buy the car at its residual value, a price that was decided years earlier. He can return the car and walk away with nothing but the memories of driving it. Or he can do what most people end up doing without much hesitation. He can lease again. And without realizing it, this next decision becomes the moment that separates short-term comfort from long-term cost. Most people don't spend weeks analyzing that decision. They don't build spreadsheets. They don't run long-term projections. They just do what feels natural in the moment. A newer car sounds good. A manageable monthly payment feels safe. And so, just like that, Jake signs another lease. New car, new contract, another $2,000 at signing, another $299 every month. The odometer resets to 0. But the payment clock does not. At first, this second lease feels just as comfortable as the first. Jake slides into another brand new car, enjoys the quiet ride, the clean interior, the sense that nothing will break unexpectedly. It feels like stability, like control, like he's keeping life simple. But over time, small cracks begin to appear. Not in the car, but in the structure of the deal itself. Because life doesn't stay predictable for 3 years straight. One year, Jake changes jobs. The commute gets longer. 10,000 miles per year suddenly isn't enough. 12,000 miles becomes tight. By the end of the lease cycle, he's driven thousands of miles beyond the limit. And that's when the first surprise shows up. Not during the lease, not while the commercials are playing, not when the salesman hands over the keys. At the very end, an overage fee appears on the final bill. Cents per mile, quietly multiplied by thousands of extra miles. What once felt like a small monthly payment suddenly grows into a lump sum he didn't expect to see. And mileage isn't the only surprise waiting at the finish line. A small scratch on the door, a faint stain on the seat, a wheel with minor curb damage from one rushed parking attempt months earlier, each detail barely noticeable during daily life now gets measured and priced. What Jake thought was normal wear suddenly becomes billable wear. Meanwhile, Marcus is still making payments on his loan, still sending $522 every month, still watching the calendar, counting down toward the finish line he set years earlier. At times, it still feels frustrating. But unlike Jake, Marcus isn't resetting the game. He's moving toward the end of it. And that difference, invisible at first, begins to grow louder with every passing month. And then, almost quietly, something changes. Month 60 arrives. Marcus makes his final payment. No celebration, no fireworks, just one last transfer, and suddenly, the payment that once felt heavy disappears. The car is his now. Title in hand, no lender, no countdown, no reset button waiting at the end. For the first time in years, his monthly budget breathes. At the exact same moment, Jake is still making payments. Another lease, another contract, another monthly charge that has slowly blended into the background of his life. $299 no longer feels like a decision. It feels like a permanent subscription, something he stopped questioning long ago. And this is where the real separation begins. Because once Marcus owns the car, time starts working in his favor. The car is older now, yes. But depreciation has slowed. Maintenance costs appear here and there, so oil changes, tires, brake pads, but those expenses are occasional, not permanent. More importantly, every month without a car payment becomes an opportunity to save, an opportunity to invest, an opportunity to build breathing room into his financial life. Meanwhile, Jake keeps cycling forward. New lease after new lease. Fresh cars, fresh interiors, fresh contracts. But the same monthly obligation, repeating like background music that never turns off. And over 10 years, that difference compounds in ways most people never notice. Jake may spend somewhere between $45,000 and $50,000 across multiple leases. At the end of that decade, he still doesn't own the car sitting in his driveway. Marcus, on the other hand, may spend a similar total amount, sometimes slightly less, sometimes slightly more depending on maintenance. But he finishes the same decade with something Jake never receives: ownership, an asset, a machine that still holds value even if it's smaller than before. And here's the deeper lesson most people miss. The real trap was never leasing. The real trap was never buying. The real trap was focusing on the monthly payment instead of the lifetime cost. Because monthly payments are designed to feel small, comfortable, almost harmless. But comfort in the short term can quietly become cost in the long term. So the next time someone slides a number across the table, whether it's for a car, a house, or anything else, pause for a moment before you agree. Don't just ask how much per month. Ask what it costs when it's all over. Ask what you will actually own when the payments stop. And if this story made you rethink how you make financial decisions, take one more step. Look at the biggest payment in your life right now. Run the numbers all the way to the end. Because the difference between feeling comfortable today and building wealth tomorrow often starts